Hey there, friends. Nick speaks. I just arrived from Minsk in Vilnius, and particularly at Vilnius International Airport. I'm flying to Barcelona. Looking forward to it. So I took this opportunity to hang out because instead of just 2 days of this international teachers conference, I'm going to spend there the entire week. So I think it's a great opportunity to hang out a bit. Although I'm gonna be working most of the time, I'm going to have online students. Still, I hope I will get some opportunity to discover a couple of wonderful places like Sagrada Familia and stuff. Well, it's not my first time in Barcelona, and the first encounter was in when last year in 2018 when I was alone. We spent with guys. We spent 4 days there, and one day out of these three, I've been working. So I can't say I entirely enjoyed this opportunity, but well, whatever I could do. Now I'm going to have like approx 5 days for hangouts, but it's not like the entire days. They are kind of probably half days, and primarily I'm of course going to be focusing on my work, not on hangouts. And now since I'm here at the airport, I have some free time. My flight is in some 90 minutes or so. So I'm going to utilize this time. I made a list of words I'm going to use in this talk, and to make it not not something boring, but rather something more entertaining, like conversation. So let me speak to you about my attire. So I have this. I have the special feeling about the gray color. Probably it's concerned with the climate of Belarus. So this gray color is very popular there, and I kind of like all the clothes when it is either black or gray. So I think whenever I'm gonna be buying a new hoodie, it's going to be gray as well. Well, I'm not sure about that. Anyways, and as for the weather today in Vilnius, it's probably the same as in Minsk. It's quite chilly. Well, in Barcelona, however, I've checked it out, and it's going to be like 14 degrees Celsius, and it's like almost seaside. Well, not almost. It's going to be seaside. Yeah, and I wanted to compare this weather with what is happening, for example, in Chicago, because the news was striking that the change in weather patterns seriously affect places like Chicago, and lots of people are affected. In particular, their jobs are affected, and educational process is also disrupted because of this. Because of this change in weather patterns. The other, however, state that there's nothing wrong with it. There were like sometimes it gets as cold as that. So what do you think about it? As for me, I find it a bit controversial because the previous American administration, the Obama administration, made it absolutely vital to achieve the environmental agreement between so many nations. But for example, the current office doesn't care much about it. Now I think we as people, because I'm not a politician, I'm just a regular English teacher, so I need to rethink and change my ways. However, I'm not going to, for example, to change the way I travel, because I love air travel, and well, I realized that a lot of carbon emissions in the atmosphere that is induced by a lot of airplanes and a lot of movement, a lot of like manufacturing that people produce. Well, of course, it lead to irreversible climate change. Well, I very well realize it. However, I like traveling, especially by plane, so I'm kind of like not going to reduce my carbon footprint only because it just flying less is not my answer. By flying less, by not doing something, I'm not going to reduce my carbon footprint. And of course, I think it's not just an individual effort. It should be a community effort, and it should be legislation in place which would affect every nation in terms of just how much carbon emissions is allowed for this or that nation. Of course, it's a controversial issue. So why? First of all, because the principal players that are responsible for carbon emissions and the emissions of other gases and toxic waste are the global powers. But what they can do? What they can do is they just outsource all this. They outsource rubbish to the third world, and I think today people, by buying a hybrid car or by trying to diversify the ways how they recycle waste, how they not dump waste into the atmosphere. So we should make a difference, not just by individual effort and not by just a community effort, but also by this international effort. And regarding Belarus, for example, currently there's one construction project is underway. It's a nuclear power plant, and I'm not sure if nuclear power is the future. Personally, I would vouch for the renewables because I think the generation of renewable energy is more productive and it harms the environment less. And I kind of feel good that we don't make this place very dirty, because whenever Vilnius International Airport is not spotlessly clean, but still it's quite clean, and I feel good about it. And the same with other places on Earth. So to conclude, let me say that reducing your carbon footprint is going to help, but only as an effort of many people, not just my effort. So as for me, I'm not going to cancel my flight. I love traveling, and I will appreciate if you give me the like for this video, if you of course liked it. If you don't like, well, don't give me likes. And what? I'm glad to see you. Cheerio.